to our lovely interview lounge where I am joined here by Quickshot and Diamond. Fantastic victory once again, Diamond. Talk me through the story of that game, because the first blood came very late and it seemed like you couldn't really get anything going anywhere.
So I couldn't really do much in the early game. I was trying to hold my lanes, hold my guys from dying. Like Alex pushed his lane very hard. Then I tried to invade, burned Aranaya's flash, stole a couple of his packs in jungle. And then the goal was to take every dragon to get as much advantage as we can.
Maybe about that dragon, Gambit still very much prioritizes getting that dragon even in early levels, even though it doesn't give that much XP or gold early levels. Is that because of the dragon, or because you know if they come here to contest it, we're sure to win that fight?
Okay, there's two things, like dragon is respawning, towers are not, so you better take all the dragons than towers, and then if they will contest it, we can kill someone easy, because we have a Lee.
I've got a question for you about your style of jungle. The very first game when we seen you play against Fnatic, you counter-jungled a lot. You almost had as much CS as Genji at one point. But now on the Lee Sin games, you seem to roam a little bit more, spend more time in lane. What affects your decision on when you want to counter-jungle or whether you want to gank? Is it the champion or the team or combination?
I think in this game it was about Lee Sin against Y, because Lee Sin counters her very hard. If he meets her in jungle alone, he will just beat her easy. And then Lee Sin can't farm jungle that fast as Shyvana, so you better gank with him, not just farm.
Yeah, we saw that early on where you almost killed Aranea, but your Q didn't come up fast enough. It was very close there. Tell me a little bit about your guys' composition and maybe the Warwick that Darian's following out so much now and is being very successful with. How do you like playing together with that Warwick in a team?
I like Warwick very much, Widwig. So Darian is playing him insanely good. He is catching everyone when he can, and also he is staying great against most OP champions right now at the top lane, like Shyvana and Mundo. He scales really well in the late game, and he can build something like, how is it? A magic resistance item which lowers magic resistance of ours.
So I've got a question for you about your champion picks. You know, we're seeing Warwick in the top lane. We're seeing, Alex is playing LeBlanc, Riven. Edward played a Mumu and Kennen. Are you practicing any strange or exciting champions? And, if so, what can you tell us about new jungle champs? Because we're still seeing the same ones over and over.
In the current patch, nothing has changed from the World Championship. Like, really not much. Maybe Kha'Zix and Fiddlestick came up, but no one else. But in the new patch, which is now live, there is like a lot of potential in our junglers, but right now Lee Sin is the strongest jungler in the game.
Some potential. I feel like we're going to see some special things in the future. Can't wait for that, of course. And now we're going to see what the fans at home have to say about the 2014 season so far. Of course, earlier today we asked you to tell us who is your dark horse team and why. And here's what you had to say. The first tweet is from @TheRangeTournaments. Super Hot Crew. They had a fantastic qualifier against MYM, and they're coming in with a lot of momentum. How do you feel Super Hot Crew is doing?
I think Super Hot Crew. I'm a really fan of Mr. Alice in solo queue because he carries me a lot. Like, I love to play with him. He never fails there. And I feel like their team is doing really, really well. And their mid laner, maybe he falls a little bit behind early, but in the late game, his decision-making in team fights is really great.
Yeah, Mr. Raleigh doing very good in that game earlier on here today. The second tweet is from @SarahKnaz. Definitely Roccat. They don't have much hype around them, but Overpow has been insanely good in every game so far.
Yeah, that's definitely true. I think Roccat are a little bit underrated by many teams right now, and seeing how well Copenhagen Wolves played and seeing how well Roccat are performing in terms of the decision makings, and the fact that our Super Hot Crew took a game from Alliance, I think a lot of people are going to be giving the other teams in the league a little bit more attention.
Yep. And then the last is from @CitoFL. I think SK Gaming can be pretty strong in the entire split. They are very skilled, and Jessis is very underrated.
I think SK still need to step up at the moment. You know, they just added in rated about a week and a half ago or 2 weeks ago. I think they're still trying to find their form, their the way the team works as a whole. Mechanically, they're doing good things, but as same mistakes that Alliance are making, they're not rotating, they're not playing objectives. So it'll take a little bit more time for them to become dark horses, I think.
Thank you very much, guys, for your input, and thanks, of course, for all those great responses. And remember, you can keep tweeting to us using @LOLesports and, of course, the hashtag LCS. And now let's send things back over to the desk with Team D Squared, D-Man and the Fish Show.